In today's topic, I'm going to talk about as a UX and UI designer, do I need coding skills? Alright, so coding skills in the sense front-end development skills, something like HTML5, CSS3, Bootstrap. Alright, many of you may be seen in this on the job description. So if you are going to looking for the job description for a UX and UI designer, you may see this if you have a coding knowledge of Bootstrap, HTML and CSS, that will be added advantage. Alright. So if you are seeing this kind of a thing and you may get confused. Alright, there are a number of my students and also there are a number of people, they are raising their voice in the comment sections as well. So today I'm going to discuss about this in a detailed manner. So let's get started. Hello all, I am Rambal from Aspera, happy to see you again. Alright, so you may get confused in a lot of manner. So as a UX and UI designer, and do I need to know the codings? So coding in terms of HTML5, CSS3, Bootstrap, most of the companies, they are putting this in their job description. So what should I do? And already I was studying some sort of a BSc Computer Science or MCA, or I was studying my BTech IT and I am not very good at the coding. Again, that is the reason I am choosing this UX design industry. Again, here also the people, they are asking about again HTML5 and CSS3. So the coding is chasing me. So what should I do? Alright. So don't get panicked. Basically what happened, being a designer, we are going to do the design for either for the web application or the mobile application or any other interfaces. So if you are going to do the design for the interfaces, and what will happen in this process, if you are going to do the design, then the next step, once you complete the design, the next step you are going to handing over the design to the development team. So in that scenario, what will happen, being a designer, you are going to talk about in your design language. The developer, they can able to understand from their developer's language. So what is the designer's language? What is the developer's language? So designers, basically what happened, you people are going to design some sort of a mobile application for an example. In this narrative, I am going to talk about an example of a mobile application design. Alright, so you are going to design a mobile application design and there is a card and you are giving a spacing. So in this card, the card dimension is roughly about a 200 pixel by 320 pixel height. Alright, and inside you are keeping some sort of a text. In the text, from the card top, there is a 20 pixel. From the left hand side of the card is a 20 pixel. This is for a small example which I am giving now. Alright. So according to you, you are giving a space from the top and the left is a 20 pixels. Right. So this is a designer's language. But as a developer, how do they understand? Most of the time, the developers, they had a problem with implementing the exact pixel perfect conversions. Reason is they are going to working on a number of devices and the interfaces. Most of the interfaces or the devices are different sizes with a minor variations. So in that scenario, they may not understand your design is a 20 pixel left or 20 pixel top. According to them, this is called as a padding. So padding is top 20 pixel, left 20 pixel. So this is the developer's language. If you are going to communicate the developer on their language, then that will be easy for them to understand and implement your design into the development phase. Alright. For that reason only, most of the companies, they are looking for the designers. At least they do have the understanding or the knowledge of HTML5 and CSS3. Right, so this is not very difficult to learn. So there are n number of platforms and the resources are available in the market. So being an UX and UI designer, you can learn on your own these HTML5 and CSS3. HTML5 also is not required. At least CSS3 you can able to learn. This is very easy. So if you are going to Figma and the inspect mode, earlier it was inspect mode. Currently they are moving to the development mode. Right, if you are clicking on the developer mode on the top right hand side, there is a toggle. Then what will happen? You can be able to see your design as a coding. So the coding of CSS coding. Alright. From there only the developers are taking the styles and they are applying into the development environment. Alright. So your design is being transformed automatically into the developer coding, that is a CSS coding in Figma. The developers, they are using that only. Alright. And also, if you are going to, once they build the application, you have to evaluate whether the design is being built properly or not. So whatever that you had given to them, they build exactly as it is, right? So this is we used to call it as a pixel perfect conversions. So this is what you have to inspect and check with them. So for inspect, basically if it is a website, so you can go to the Chrome, Google Chrome. If you are going to click on the mouse on the right click, there is an option called inspect. So if you click on that, then you can choose the arrow and you can select any one of the object on the website. Then there is an option. It will be displaying the CSS in the right hand side. So if you are going and checking that CSS, it shows the padding, margin, everything will be displayed. All right. So if you know at least the basic level, right? So CSS is not a very, very difficult one, is a very, very basics one only. All right. So if you learn this on your own, then you can able to comfortably communicate with the developers and you can able to get things done. Being an UX and UI designer, you no need to write any coding, but if you know these coding standards and you can able to communicate to the developer on their communication language, then it will be an added advantage to your career. If it is an entry level or an intermediate level, my recommendation, why don't you go and check it out and explore that opportunity, and you can able to having a added value to your career. So don't get confused. You are not going to involve with any coding. Only you have to communicate to the developers and you are going to explain to them in their language. So now the main question, do you need to know coding, right? Yes. If you know the coding, then is a added value. All right. If you don't know coding, no problem. You can be able to manage to getting a job on UX UI design skills itself. All right. So now you want to understand why being a designer, we have to understand the CSS coding styles, and my recommendation, you can go and explore the things. All right. So the learning is a never ending story. Being a designer, we have to learn as much as possible, if possible, right? But everything is possible in this world. So my recommendation, go and explore yourself. All right. So I will catch you soon with another interesting topic. Until then, bye-bye.